Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a quick unboxing video for this new Drocon drone, the DC-08. Now if you follow my channel, you know I'm not necessarily a big fan of doing these unboxings, but sometimes I feel it is important, and I've had a sneak peek inside this box, and boy, this thing is packaged so nice that I really felt I'd be doing a disservice if I did one of my normal table reviews and didn't show you guys what's in this box. My normal table review, I'm just going to go over what's inside of it, show you the box, but I won't really show you how it's packaged. And I feel this is important because you don't usually see things packaged this well on something that I would still consider to be toy grade, though it's on the very high ends of what I would consider toy grade. It's closer to hobby grade. So it's going to be kind of hard to get this all on my tripod in the field of view. I've got my tripod up as high as I can get it, and I have nothing to set it on, so you guys may have to bear with me here. It may not be in the field of view very well at all times. So it's got one key, a follow, which is follow me, GPS mode of course, surround flight is doing a circle me mode, 5G transmission, so it uses your 5G Wi-Fi, not to be confused with 5G LTE or 5G 5th generation cellular service. It says 5G or Wi-Fi, which any newer phone in the last 5 years is going to have that. And a real 1080p camera. We'll have to test that. It says this is not fake or upscaled. It's true 1080p. I can't comment on that right now. We'll test that out when I get to the actual review, the full flight review. So as you can see, again, it's the DC-08. Their logo is "The sky is the limit." This is a big this isn't brushless GPS drone. As you guys will see, is very similar looking to the classic SEMA X8, X8C, X8W, X8G, those big SEMAs. It's going to look a lot like that. So I got to find here, it's got a carrying handle here in the front, and that's how you know that you're the top, of course. And then here is how you open it up, and we'll let you guys see inside. And look at that. There is the big SEMA-sized X8 looking Drocon drone. Of course, this is GPS, and those were not, though they do make a large SEMA X8 Pro or something like that, that this is probably very, very similar to. So just take this plastic insert out, I'm going to throw it down on the ground, and here is the drone. Again, this is big. This is Phantom sized. So it's the size of a DJI Phantom or an Alto X-Star, but of course it's not at that level, and those are all obviously brushless. So you can see it's got some connections here for the camera to power. This is where your battery is going to go, and I can tell it's going to be a big proprietary battery, and your brush motors here. And on the bottom, just like the SEMAs, you've got your little LED pods there for your lights, which I don't remember. I know Donnie reviewed this, my friend. I don't remember what the light pattern is. It's probably going to be red-green, but you know, don't hold me to that. And then I had a sneak peek down inside, and this is what I want you guys to see, is how nice, again, this is. You can see all these boxes. I'll try to, that's me throwing it on the floor. You see everything packaged in here. I've not opened any of this up. So everything I see in here, you guys are going to be seeing it at the same time as I have. I've only peeked inside and saw the actual drone. So let's pull these out. We'll go over as much as we can, and then of course come back with a flight review. At that point I'll go over the app and stuff like that, since I don't even know what app this uses. So let's see what is inside of this box. It looks like we got looks like a charger. It looks like, I think it's a 2S balance board. You got a screwdriver. You got some instructions in here about the app. I'm not going to dig into all this, but I'll let you guys see. It tells you what the name of the Wi-Fi is. You can see it in that instructions. So this is setting up the Drocon app. And then you've got inside of here, we've got some prop guards. So if you want to use those, I'm probably not going to. These make really good tree hangers. So they're saying please install blade guards when using drone in a non-GPS mode, because obviously you're more likely to probably crash it and you're flying just an altitude hold. I would say if you're a beginner, put these on. Even in GPS mode, just make sure you're not around a bunch of trees. But if you're experienced at all, I would not mess with them. You're just going to more likely, it's going to add weight, decrease your flight time just a hair. It's just going to make it not fly quite as good, and you're going to end up, like I said, get it caught in a tree. It's like a, you know, hooks on an ornament. And here's, of course, the phone clip holder to insert on the back of the controller when we get around to looking at that. And you just open it up and your phone clips in there. So that's all, everything for the first box. Let's see what's in this box. I've not seen anything packaged like this. You don't usually even see the controllers in the box, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is right here. Let's go ahead and see if I can get this open without bumping my tripod. There we go. And this is also a SEMA looking controller, so it makes me wonder if maybe this drone is not just an entirely rebranded SEMA. If not, it's meant to look very much like it. We can see the back compartment door came off. It takes only 3 AA batteries, so not a ton of voltage there. So usually that tells me it's probably not going to have really crazy good range like the old SEMAs, but we'll have to see, you know. This ought to have a pretty good flight time, so I'm hoping I can get this out and test the range. Most of the time on these drones, the range is limited by the Wi-Fi FPV signal, much more than the actual transmission range of the controller. So we'll have to see. It is 5G, that's good. It means we're not going to get that cross interference with the controller or all the typical Wi-Fi interference in just from people's routers and their home Wi-Fi. So we might get better range than some of the regular 2.4. So you got your power. Here's some buttons on top. Again, I don't know what the buttons do at this point. We got a dial here and a dial here. So these both, they appear to be functional. So I'm wondering if maybe the gimbal tilts. I've not looked, and these buttons do also press, but again, some of these are probably not going to be functional, but we'll see. If the gimbal is actually, does it actually have a one-axis gimbal and tilt? I just don't remember. Again, I'm learning this with you guys right here. I'll get a test flight in with this before my review. When I get to the flight review, which hopefully will be within the next week, you guys will be able to get all the goodies then, and I'll know everything about it at that point. And of course, it's got altitude hold, as you can see, with the self-centering sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this over here and get that out of the way. And we got 2 more boxes here to look at before we wrap this up. Let's see what's in this one. One of these has got to have the battery or batteries. I don't know if it comes with 1 or 2. Here's some foam cutouts in here. Let's see what is inside of here. That is the camera on the left. I don't know if, let's see what's over here on the right. A battery. Let's take a look at the camera first. So let's see if I can set that there without it falling. And it is motorized, so I was right. It's only a 1-axis, and it looks like a fairly nice camera. Here's your 2 different wires that plug in the bottom and power. One is probably to power the camera, and one's probably to power that motor to do the tilt. This is a brushed motor, so it's not going to be super precise like brushless, and it's not going to be stabilized. It doesn't, you know, a 1-axis can't stabilize anyway. You need at least a 2-axis. It's just going to be to manually tilt the camera down. Looks like probably about 45 degrees, and it looks it can go up, but I don't know whether it'll have the ability to actually aim up with the controller, but it does at least have that range of motion. So that's not bad. That's better than the cameras you typically see in terms of the way it's constructed, at least, over some of the other ones. But as in terms of quality of the camera and, you know, just the overall functionality of it, we'll have to compare it to the others. You know, how much does it have jello? Many times these drones do. It's difficult to eliminate that, especially with brushed motors and the size. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't have much jello. Here's a little antenna that broadcasts that 5G signal. There's actually 2 antennas here on the back, interestingly enough, to broadcast that back. And let's look inside of here at that big battery. And here is that big beefy battery. Set that back over here. And here is the battery. This is a 2S 7.6 volts. So that is a lithium ion, or lithium or LiPo. They're both very similar. It's a high voltage. They call this LIHV because it's 7.6 volt. Your standard lithium ion or LiPo would be 7.4 volt at 2S. Here is that plug for the charger I was showing you guys. Let me make sure I don't get it out of the view. And that's how you charge it. And I believe it just powers the drone through these connections over here. So 3,000 milliamp, that's pretty beefy. I expect this drone ought to get a pretty good flight time. I like this battery. Of course, it's proprietary, but yeah, that's a nice big battery. So, and the LIHV, as I mentioned, being high voltage means it's going to have a little bit extra oomph, a little more power, fully charged. You know, it's going to have a little bit higher voltage. And this is probably going to be the landing gear. So I can see the legs in here and the propellers. So yeah, that's what this is going to be. You're going to have your landing gear. I'm not going to pull it all out. Your 4 landing legs, and it's got, looks like your props plus an extra set of props. So your propellers and your landing gear are in that box. And I would say, you know, if this thing would have jello, those big propellers on a drone of this size, you could certainly balance those. And that is one way, quick and easy, well, not necessarily quick, but it's one good way to get rid of jello. So if there is jello, you could probably balance those, and that might get rid of, it may not eliminate it. Those brushed motors add vibes, but you should be able to help reduce it if you would need to balance that. But again, I like the looks of this, the black and the gold. Just so, it's beautifully packaged. I don't know how else to say it. For something I would still consider toy grade, just really nicely packaged. A big, nice size 3,000 milliamp battery. There is only one with this one, but I'm certain you can buy more of those through Drocon, who is a seller of these drones on Amazon, where I got this from. So you can pick up an extra battery, I'm certain, there. So I don't know, like I said, all the functionality at this time of the controller, but after a test flight and go with the instruction manual, I'll certainly know all that, and I'll know it during the flight review. So you want to stay tuned for that. I don't know, you know, the flight time or range, that kind of stuff. And I don't know the app yet, but again, this is an unboxing, so I can be a little bit unprepared, where if it was an actual table review and I didn't know this, that would be pretty bad, and I wouldn't want to put that up being completely clueless. But this is an unboxing. All right, guys, that's about 13 minutes here of video getting through this. That should cover the table review portion for the most part. What I do here is, if you've not watched my channel, I'll come back with the flight review and I'll go over the things here, like I mentioned, that I'm unfamiliar with, so that we do cover all of our bases and nothing's left uncovered. But you know, it's not going to be a typical table review where I get every little detail that I can remember covered. We'll do as much as we can here. This kind of eliminates the need for doing another table review and showing you everything that comes with it. That'd be a bit repetitive. All right, guys, that wraps up the table, the unboxing of the Drocon DC-08. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you got any questions about this right now, ask it. But again, if it's something pertaining to the flying and that, you need to wait for the flight review when I'm going to be able to answer that. And be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff, so that you help me out on YouTube. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.